Thanks for the support as a channel member, Dave Beasley. And talking of channel members, it's that time of the month again, where if you are a YouTube premium subscriber, you can get a free channel membership on the channel. And this was extended last month. It was only supposed to be a 1 month thing. Some of you have already done it twice. It is now coming to an end. So if you have got YouTube premium subscription and you haven't for this month allocated a channel to get your free channel membership on, you have to do it by the 1st of July or the ability to do it disappears, presumably for the time being. I think they probably will bring it back. It is still just in selected countries, but England and Ireland are in the selected countries that you can do it in. And the last couple of months, you lot have been fantastic supporting the channel with this stuff. And I'd really appreciate it if we did it one more time before the offer goes away. Hello and welcome to part 125 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we're going to do 3 matches for you. It's not often I do 3 matches, but we're going to do 3 games. We're going to do both legs of Lyon in the Champions League quarter-final, and we're also going to do the FA Cup. Was it a semi-final? It's the FA Cup semi-final, isn't it? Against Watford. Just all the cups. We've written off the league, as you can see. We're down in 13th place in the league. We've only played 1 Premier League game since the last episode. We did win it, and Gomez scoring a couple of goals again. So there's positives there. And although we are down in 13th place, we do have games in hand on most of the teams above us. So there's the chance of a late push into the top half of the table. But that's the best it's going to be. We're not going to be finishing in any European qualification spots. So it is all about the cups from here on in. And fingers crossed, we can maybe win one of them. We're probably not going to win the Champions League, but we can try and win the FA Cup, and we can try and continue to earn money from the Champions League, because goodness me, do we need money? We're £50 million in the red. Now, I know at the end of the year, I think it's like a £45-50 million payment from the Premier League will come in, plus any Champions League residual money that's lying around. I think we'll probably be in the black at the end of the season, just probably not by a long way. So the deeper we get into both of these competitions, the more chance we've got of not running out of money. One other thing you might have noticed is I've moved over here. I'm on the opposite side of the screen now, and this is my new home. It should lead to more even audio, as I've now got the cameras and mic all lined up with each other, so I can look into the camera or look at the game and still be looking at the microphone, so you get less of me turning away from the mic and then turning back into the mic, which makes the audio go up and down like that. This should be the last of the fiddling now. I'm pretty happy with how things are set up. This is our new permanent setup, I think. Feedback as ever is welcome. Not going to bring the green screen back though. So this is the team for the first of today's 3 games against Lyon. We're still having to use the 4-3-1-2 because, as you can see, we don't have much other option. We've got lots of players who are unregistered. We've got suspensions. We've got injuries. Cerner Jackie is slowly but surely getting fit again. He's going to be out for the next 10 days or so. There's a chance maybe by that FA Cup game, Cerner Jackie will be back. And if Cerner Jackie's back, then we can probably go back to a 4-2-3-1 if this system isn't working, because we've got Zimmerman who can go in on the other side. Bellico is on his way back as well. Where is Bellico? Bellico is going to be returns to full training tomorrow. So we are getting to the point where we don't have to use this system anymore. But for now, we kind of still do, which is not ideal with it being the away game of the Champions League quarter-final. But what are you going to do? We're going with Mazzinho in goal, a back four of Regulus, Da Silva, Diaz and Ansong, Sarmiento, Oatway and Ariel in midfield, Ricardo then behind Gervin and Gomez up front. Let's get into the game. Let's cross all of our fingers and let's hope that we manage to... I mean, as long as we don't lose really badly in this first leg, we give ourselves a chance for the second leg then. That's what this first leg is all about. It's about giving ourselves a chance for the second leg. So go out there, carry on where you finished the last match. I mean, it doesn't get more straightforward than that with a team talk. We played very well in the last Premier League game. Let's see if we can play very well in this Champions League game. We start things off with an Ansong long throw, which he's usually very dangerous at, because I think he's got the best long throws at the club. So when he plays, we're a little bit more dangerous from the long throws, but I mean, this is the Champions League. We're not going to beat him with long throws, are we? De Silva's intercepted brilliantly there and is charging forward, plays it out to Regulus on this left-hand side, who plays it all the way back to De Silva again, who sprays it out to Hansen. De Silva's just playing as our deep-line playmaker, apparently, and it ends up with Ricardo, who has the shot that ends up just wide of the mark. But we've started brightly, and De Silva... I mean, De Silva's being heavily linked with a summer move to Manchester United. He's not interested in discussing another contract. We've talked about this a couple of times for a few players, but he's really holding out for this Manchester United move. He's got 2 years left on his contract with us. I suspect we're going to be powerless to stop him leaving, because without being able to promise him any kind of European football or anything like that to tempt him to stay, or even give him a big pay rise, he's probably going to be leaving. Right, we're losing now. This is a thing we didn't want to happen. We're 1-0 down. I mean, if we finish 1-1, that's better than 0-0. But I hope this isn't a sign of the floodgates opening. I mean, Ansong, is that Ansong just there? I think that is Ansong. Yeah, Ansong was just nowhere near that, was he? He's not a Champions League footballer. We're going to be missing Arango today. And we've got a few players in this team who, as good as they've been for us, you do have to question whether they've got a future in this competition. I suspect there's a lot of them who, if and when they leave, will never play another Champions League game again in the rest of their career. And Ansong, I'm fairly confident, goes into that category. And he's done quite well there, so we'll let him off there. But I suspect some of our midfield also fall into that category. Oatway, presumably, maybe Ricardo. I don't know about Gervin. Gomez would probably never get in a Champions League team for anybody else. So I think we've got a bit of a... It's a mixed squad. We knew we had a mixed squad. We've got a lot of players who... We've got a lot of very young, very talented players who'll go on to have great careers. We've got like half a team of them and another half a team of players who are solid mid-table Premier League players. And we just need the stars to play well on the day. And if they don't, we lose, as we've seen a lot this season. Right. We are 8 minutes into this second half. Lyon have got the ball again. We need to get this off him. We need Gomez to have one of his big game performances, but maybe he doesn't see it as a big game, which is mad, really. It's the Champions League quarter-final. Of course it's a big game. Go out there and score a hat-trick. We might have to rush Jackie back for the second leg if this doesn't go well. And bearing in mind he's already got injured whilst rehabilitating once, rushing him back seems like a pretty bad idea. Oh, desperate defending, and De Silva eventually gets the ball clear. There's 519 Bourne fans have travelled to France for this game. I remember not so long ago, we didn't get that many people turn up for our home games, even as recently as when we were in like the National League. I'm not talking about when we were in the deepest, darkest depths of non-league. When we were a professional club, we struggled to get that many people for home games. Now they travel to France. Bunch of glory hunters. Right. We've got Janino on the bench. We've got Zimmerman on the bench if we want to change things up. But I think Janino is an obvious one to come on, just to offer us something a little bit different to Gervin and see if he can use his trickery and fanciness to carve out an opportunity for us. Oatway can come off for Mira for a little bit more experience in the central midfield. I think Mira was in the French league before he came to us, actually, so he might have previous with Lyon even. Let's have 10 minutes of passion. Losing 1-0 in the away leg is never going to be a disaster. I'm going to let this highlight play out before I choose what to do next, because it's an Ansong long throw. This could be an equaliser here. Big throw into the penalty area, but it's ended up being cleared by Lyon, and they've got a counter-attack on here. And we had De Silva forward for it, who's been our only real defender for the entire game. And without De Silva back there helping out with the defending, it all looked a little bit desperate. It's a corner now to Lyon. 10 minutes left on the clock. I do need to go back and fiddle around with a final substitution once I can decide what I want to do. Now we've not scored, we're continuing to try and find a way to grab a goal. Gomez has been really poor. We have got Zimmerman on the bench, who we could potentially bring on for Gomez and go back to what we know and shuffle the midfield around a little bit to accommodate these players, and in anticipation of the glorious return of Jackie, give it 10 minutes of, remember when we used to play this, lads? Let's play this. We want him on wing-back support. Hang on, let's get this right. So, let's do that. Zimmerman finally getting an appearance. Hopefully Zimmerman will come on and be brilliant. As someone said in the comments the other day, Zimmerman is a wonder kid too. He's just kind of been the forgotten man because he had a poor last season and Cook came in over the top of him. And when Cook got injured, all the other wingers got injured too. So it wasn't as simple as just bringing Zimmerman in for Cook. Sarmiento's done well here, plays it into Ansong. Ansong back to Sarmiento again, who does really well to skip past two players. Ricardo couldn't get the ball away. It falls to Janino! And Janino scores an incredibly important Champions League goal for the second time this season. He's scored he scored the late winner against Bayern Munich ages ago now, but an away goal, an equaliser in the Champions League is huge. It was sloppy defending from Lyon, and Juninho was there to tuck it away, and it's Lyon 1, Bourne 1 in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final, and with Cernajacki returning for the second leg, we're dreaming again, boys and girls. This is ridiculous, but we have to believe it could happen. And what a story it would be if it did. Oh, crumbs. Well, 2-1's still fine. We got an away goal. Talk about sloppy defending, though. Who's marking him? Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Give me 10 more minutes of passion. No. Well, I can't fault your effort. We did lose, though. Hopefully we'll win the second leg. Well, we managed to get a draw against Chelsea, which, I guess it's not that impressive, really. A home draw against a team who finished well below us in the league last year. But at least we didn't lose. We haven't got any of the injured players back, though, for this second leg. Cook and Cernajacki still not fully training. Bellico is training, but he's not close to match fit, has a very high risk of being re-injured. And when the other two have already been re-injured, that just seems like a bad idea. Worryingly, having a little look at Cernajacki's injury thing, I think he's now got, is that a weakness? It says recurring injury. So he's got a recurring injury, recurring thigh strain and tight groin, which if we have a look at his injuries over his career, there's a lot of thigh and groin things going on all down that left leg. So, worryingly, that's his kicking leg as well. And it does make me worry that a man who was so good, largely because of how good his pace and power was, if he's only got one leg, we might have had Cernajacki might have peaked. He might come back fine. We might need to cash in and move him on to Paris Saint-Germain this summer before they realise we've broken him, though. But with none of them back, this is the team we're going to have to try and turn this second leg around with. We've got Messinho in goal, a back four of Regulus, De Silva, Diaz, and Arango, who's back after being missing from the first leg. Sarmiento, Otway, and Ariel in midfield. Ricardo behind Juninho and Gomez up front. Just cross fingers, cross arms, cross legs. Get rid of that fly that's buzzing around in here. He's doing my head in. Doesn't he realise we've got a big Champions League game going on? There's stress going on here. And also, don't forget, don't just turn the episode off at the end of this match because you think, oh, there you go, 2 matches done. Don't need to see Kev asking us to subscribe again. Remember, we've got the FA Cup semi-final coming up as well, a rare 3-match episode. It's almost like a live stream. You know how to find me on Twitch now. We're attacking. I'm not going to go into the full Twitch spiel other than it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, twitch.tv/LOLLUJO. Link down in the description below. Okay, so I did the spiel. I'm not proud of myself. And I'm even less proud of myself now we've conceded an away goal. The one advantage we had was that we had the away goal. And now they've got 1-2. And all of a sudden, it looks like our Champions League dream is coming to an end. We never expected to make it to the quarter-final. But I don't think we're going to be making it any further. Shut up, Siri. It's not the time. Should we demand more? If we'd have been at full strength, I think we'd have had a real good chance today. But there's too many. We said about it in the first leg. There's too many players who aren't Champions League standard in this team. Even someone like Juninho might get there. He's not there yet, though. He's still a teenager. Right. Aggressively avenge what happened last time. Let's go attack him. Let's really go for it and cross our fingers and hope. But they've just shut up shop now. They've got their away goal. They know we've got to score twice just to draw level in the tie at this point. And to do that, we're going to commit men forward, and they can just let us commit men forward and then pick us off. Nothing. They have just shut. They've just shut the game down. They've done what we're not capable of doing. Diaz with the long throw. The ball bobbles around a little bit in the area, but not enough to cause hassle, to cause goals. Right, we've got to try something. So let's go to this system and let's shuffle everything around and then see what we've got. Right, who have we got on the bench who can come into this? I look at that bench and I am not inspired by it. I mean, there's nothing on that. There is nothing on that bench that makes me think, oh yes, bring him on. He's a difference maker. So I'm not going to bother. We'll change the system and see if that makes a difference. Go back to the 4-2-3-1. Gervin should probably come on. He probably deserves. I mean, Gomez is done. I genuinely think Gomez is finished. I think this is it for him now. Mira can come on for Oatway. Why not bring Robinson on for Ariel and see if getting him up there with Gervin makes a difference. Oh, I was so convinced that we had a chance, and we just don't look like we should have ever. We topped a group with Atletico and Bayern Munich in. To go out like this is pathetic. Gervin with a tidy finish. I think he's offside though. I think he might be our striker next year. He has looked the most like, if he got a run of games in the team, I think he's a Premier League striker. I'm not sure if the other two are. Gomez baffles me. He's still the Premier League's top scorer. But when was the last time we saw him have a good game? Oh my word, Mazzinho. He wants it. He's up for it. That's the high point of our Champions League run. Having him charge forward, going beyond the defenders to head the ball forward again. He wants to stay in the Champions League. I want to make him captain for that. That was fantastic. Janino skips through. Oh, if he'd have scored there, we'd have had 3 minutes of dreaming at the end of the game. It's a corner. It's Robinson to take. We've got men lined up in the middle. De Silva's there. Falls to Ricardo, but it can't. He can't. We can't. Just can't. Oh, how differently it might have gone if Cernajacki had not got re-injured. As it is now one game to save a season. If we can beat Watford in this game coming up, we have an FA Cup final. And at least, I mean, for a club like Bourne, winning the FA Cup and getting to the quarter-final of the Champions League and finishing mid-table in the Premier League, that's a good season. It's less of a good season if we finish bottom half and don't win anything. There's a lot riding on this Watford game, and we haven't won for ages. So FA Cup semi-final day, of course, because of the glitches with the FA Cup on this database, it's not at Wembley. It's actually an away game. We're going to Watford's ground to play in this. So it doesn't rain, it pours. We're going with Juninho and Gervin up front in this game. Gomez is just frustrating me. And it's not that he's even doing anything wrong necessarily. He's on a 7.08. He's actually scoring at roughly the same rate he has in previous seasons. It's just his season was so front-loaded for goals. I mean, to be fair, I might be harshly judging him here. He just doesn't feel as dangerous as he used to. It'll do him good to sit the game out. We have got Bellico back up on the bench, but he can only play 45 minutes. Cernajacki still not fit to play. We're doing this for Cernajacki. If we can get to the FA Cup final, it gives him something to win. Similar to De Silva, though, I do think with massive clubs lurking, if we don't at least win the FA Cup, if we don't do something this season, I don't see how we keep our stars. And I think that's, at the very least, De Silva and Cernajacki, could include Mazinho and Sarmiento as well. The four of them are the four that have been consistently linked with moves to big clubs. So we might be having a bit of a rebuild job going on this summer, which I guess it wouldn't... Oh, Gervin's in. Lovely finish. This is what I was saying about Gervin. He's the one. He's the one who'll become a consistent striker for us. 7th goal of the season for him. It's a lovely little finish. That's made me feel better. Maybe we can get an FA Cup final. After all, I can't remember what I was saying now. I'm sure it was profound and really interesting. But it's completely gone. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a club-ending disaster if we lost those players, because it actually means our sort of financial gamble on getting into the Champions League every year, although it's failed, it would stop the club from crumbling. Because if we were to sell, let's say if we sold those four, Mazinho, De Silva, Sarmiento, Cernajacki, you got to believe close to £400 million for those four players. This is ridiculous. Anytime anyone looks half decent, they get injured. Gomez can come on. Juninho can be the false 9. We might need to have a look at our training. And training is something I've not really fiddled with on FM20 at all. I don't know if that means new coaches or actually adjusting the training plans. So I've never had a problem with my assistant manager setting the training before. Perhaps he's the problem. But we are getting a lot of injuries this year, and we've upgraded our training facilities. So we've now got really fancy training facilities. So it's not that we're training on a muddy park and tripping over dog turds. So there must be... Yes, we've played a... That's beautiful from Gomez. I take it all back. Christian Gomez is a wonderful man. We have a love-hate relationship. I love it when he scores. I hate it when he doesn't. I mean, I guess it might not even be anything we're doing, the injury thing. We're just playing a lot more football this year than we have previously. We've got the 38 Premier League games. We've had this long cup run in the FA Cup, long cup run in the Champions League. Some of these players, I mean, Mazinho is probably the one to check, because I think he's played every minute of every game. So at half time, we'll have a look to see how many games he's already played this season. I think if we get to the FA Cup final, I think we've still got 9 league games to go. So potentially 10 games remaining still. And I bet he's already played more than 50 games this season. So I guess it might, rather than it being an issue with our training, which I'll still try and figure out how to have a look at, it might just be an example that we've not got enough squad depth and I wasn't rotating enough. So it could be the lack of rotation early on has caused the injuries to start accumulating now. But that doesn't really explain someone like Gervin, who hasn't played. He's not played close to 60 games. He's probably started about 10 games. So it doesn't explain him. I guess Cook and Cernajacki, both, for their age, were probably playing too much football. So I might have to take responsibility for them. They were both ever present when they got injured. So I guess that might have been my fault. Right. So what was it? Mazinho has played 48 games in all competitions already. And we've still got, only 6 Premier League games left, plus potentially, so he's got this one as well, so that would bring him to 55 games. An FA Cup final would bring him to 56. 56 games is a lot of football. Compared to last year, he played 46. The year before, he joined halfway through, played 17, but an extra 10, 12 games over the course of a season, that's a lot of extra football when you're not rotating. I imagine someone like De Silva has probably played most of those games as well. 43 games already on the books for De Silva. He'll be the next one to get injured because he's just playing too much football. But I can't imagine picking a team for anything other than a Carabao Cup game. I just can't imagine picking a team that doesn't have De Silva in it, because he's our best defender by such a long way. Why would I not pick him if he's available to be picked? I've got to learn to rotate. Right, Cogney can come on. Mira can come on. And we're just trying to hold on now and book our spot in the FA Cup final. Sarmiento with the cross. De Silva, I thought he'd made it 3, but it goes just wide of the post. We've had more people turn up for this FA Cup semi-final than we did for the Lyon game in the Champions League quarter-final. Now, I imagine some of that is Watford's a lot closer to Bourne than Lyon is, but maybe maybe the Bourne fans want this more. Maybe that's why Gomez has turned up today and wasn't turning up for the Champions League games. I've just realised I haven't swapped those two over, which is the other thing I normally do when I make that change. Get Cogney on the left-hand side where he's supposed to be. Get Sarmiento in there as a playmaker where he likes to be. We've got too many playmakers, which is why he doesn't get to do it all the time. But 7 minutes to go. Watford aren't looking like getting back into it. Fingers crossed. We are going to be in the FA Cup final. Right, Sarmiento's got it back in midfield after a good interception from Arango. Juninho now has dropped very deep. I love Juninho as a false nine. I think he really gets about the pitch and causes trouble. The only problem is, and I guess this goes with the role as he develops into it, he does sometimes disappear for long parts of the game. But when he gets the ball, he's usually up to something with it. Gomez has drifted out wide here, comes inside and has a good shot that the keeper deals with quite well. But Gomez is up for it today. He's chasing down defenders, getting himself into positions. I've just noticed Norwich are 5-0 up in what presumably is the other FA Cup semi-final. Because I know Norwich were in it. So I think it was the East Anglian derby in the other FA Cup semi-final, Ipswich against Norwich. So Ipswich are not having a very nice day if they're losing 5-0 to Norwich in the FA Cup semi-final. But if we're facing Norwich in the FA Cup final, we've got to believe that's a game we can win. Regulus, very, very close. And Juninho's there. And it's number 7 for the season for Juninho. All 3 of our strikers have scored today. And that's it. We're in the FA Cup final. I'm glad I chose to do 3 games in this episode because that's cheered me up no end. Getting to that, it's lovely from Regulus and Juninho, first to react. And there we go. Watford 0, Bourne 3. And in the other game, it's Ipswich 0, Norwich 5. So we are in the FA Cup final. Unfortunately, got to keep preparing you for this. With the error in the database when it was created, it's not going to lead to Europe no matter what happens. So it's not a backdoor way to be able to keep our better players. But it is a trophy. We haven't won one in a long time. There's money attached to it too, which is always going to help because, our financial situation is not disastrous. We were 5th on the Premier League for profit-making clubs, one of only 6 clubs that made a profit. So we are actually running at a profitable 12 months, even though we're 40 million in the red, because obviously we'll get more than that in Premier League prize money coming in like a month, 6 weeks' time. So always take balance with a pinch of salt when you're in the Premier League. We're not showing as insecure. So the money will help. And winning a competition will help. And it might be enough to convince 1 or 2 of those players we were talking about before to stay at the club. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.